Hey all, Matt Stockton here. Just wanted to show a couple things I've been playing with on Claude Sonnet 3.5. Their new artifacts feature and the ability to run code in the browser is really awesome, and I encourage everyone to experiment with it, even if you're not familiar with writing code. One thing it's really good at is allowing you to just write plain sentences and get working code in the browser to experiment with. And I think one really big benefit of this is it allows people who may not be as familiar with writing code to experiment with it and get something working and then learn from it. It really removes the barriers that are in software development for people to just get started. So I encourage people to check it out. I also think that one really interesting aspect of this is you can now write software with sentences. And so I think it also lessens the overall cost of build. So I imagine this will allow people to build really small custom software tools for themselves to do things that otherwise wouldn't be built, or they do manually. But it really allows you to just quickly build small tools or things you need and experiment. And I'm talking minutes to get working software. One thing that I was just playing around with yesterday is I had spent some time in the when the iPhone first came out, building iPhone apps, building small games just to kind of learn iOS. And I tried to re-implement one of the games I built in Claude, just telling it how it works. It's a game that I called Word Spy that basically allows you to look at rows of scrolling letters and try to identify words embedded within those rows. Kind of just a word puzzle game, really simple. So I came to Claude and I kind of described how the game works. So there's rows of scrolling letters. The letters scroll from left to right, and there's most of the letters are random, but embedded in the stream of letters is a word. And the goal is to identify the word, and then as you progress, the words scroll faster, and then there was options to have multiple rows of letters scrolling at the same time. So I came in and without much planning, just described how this worked with some bullet points, and told Claude to ask me any questions it had before it got started. It asked me some pretty good questions. How many letters should be visible? Do you want a visual indicator for the current round? Pretty good questions, and it was pretty easy to answer. And then right away it actually had something that was working, and I took a bit of time to adjust some of the things that I thought could be better, like adding to the dictionary of words. It initially kind of started with like 10 or 15 words. The words moving across the screen were a bit jumpy, and there was a little bit too fast. Then came back, and then the first time I tried to get it to move more fluid, it had trouble with that, but pointed out this error, and then it was able to fix it. And then I added this complexity of being able to allow the user's select number of rows to scroll between, and tried to get it to add some music. But anyways, this all took 5 minutes to do, and you can actually play this game. So I will post a link to the game in my post, but check this out. It's pretty cool. You just boot it up, and you can select the number of rows you want to scroll. Let's just do one row for now, and you can start it, and the letters scroll across, and you have to identify a word. Oh, there's book. So you can say stop scrolling and say go. And you can go next round. I'll turn the sound off, it's kind of annoying. But let's see. Oh, toys. All right, let's do it. Ow. Well, I guess there was another word in there. Let's see. All right, there's animal. Stop scrolling, put that in there. And let's reload this, and then you can, select 3 rows to make it more complex. But yeah, it built all this without me writing any any React code at all, and it will give you the code here that you can copy and paste into whatever you want to use in your editor. Or you can run it locally, whatever. But really, really cool. So I think that the key things here is that it reduces the barrier to just trying something, to build something yourself for people who may not be as familiar with writing code. And then I think just the ability to write small pieces of software really quickly for your own personal use opens up a ton of interesting opportunities. So yeah, let me know what you think. Figured I would share this. And then another thing you can do now is you can actually publish these things. So you can take the working prototype and just get a link to it and then share that out, which is really neat. So I'll share that link out too. So thanks, and always curious to hear what other people are building with this and what they're learning. So give me a message if you have anything cool that you're trying out.